request that proceedings under the quorum call be dispensed with.
Without objection.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm here on the floor today to make what I consider to be a super cool announcement. And I think my colleagues know well that I am a fan of the last great race, the Iditarod, and I am shameless in my promotion of not only the exceptional athleticism of the mushers themselves, but the canine athletes. And Madam President, as an athlete yourself, I think you can appreciate the endurance training that it takes to be a qualified and truly an exceptional athlete. And today we're able to celebrate an extraordinary musher and an extraordinary team. It was just a little over a week ago, last Sunday morning, that, well, actually it was Saturday that I was in Anchorage for the ceremonial start of the Iditarod. It takes place downtown in Anchorage. We have to truck snow in. We close off all the downtown streets. Not too many cities actually bring the snow in, but we brought the snow in, dumped it around the street, closed the streets. Mushers come to town from all over the state, 49 mushers this year. They bring their sled dogs in. Along the sides of the chutes are thousands of Alaskans and thousands of visitors, the people who come from around the country and around the world to launch these extraordinary teams down the street. Everybody all bundled up. It was one of those days that was just picture perfect for the start of an Iditarod. It was big, huge snowflakes coming down, making everything white. The dogs are jumping in their traces, just straight up, just bouncing up with excitement. And the yipping and the howling was just, it was excitement that was contagious. And to be out there in the chutes, wishing the racers luck, cheering them on before they embark on their 1,000-mile journey to the north. It's an experience that I would encourage anyone, whether you are a canine lover or not, those of you who understand the value of working dogs and what they mean and how they love to do what they do. The Iditarod is an experience like none other. This was the 50th anniversary. For 50 years now, the Iditarod has been going from South Central in the Willow area all the way up to Nome. Again, 49 teams entered. These mushers face some pretty challenging conditions. You're going over terrain that is mountain range and down into gorges. You are on flat glare ice going across Norton Sound, howling winds, driving snow. It is a mental task. It is a physical task, and truly one of endurance. Keep in mind that most are thinking, wait, this is Alaska in the wintertime. It's cold. But in fairness, the teams actually prefer to be running at night when the temperatures are cooler. So they're running truly based on the dog's schedule, the endurance, but not necessarily in the tamest of conditions. This is not only a race where we celebrate the musher and their teams, but we also celebrate the volunteer spirit that comes with this. This is an extraordinary race, over 1,000 miles, going through some of the most extreme wilderness that you will encounter. And then occasionally along the way, small villages that are used as checkpoints or opportunities for the many volunteers to basically gather. There's about 1,500 people who volunteer to put this race on. So those who set the trail markers, who set out there with their snow machines to mark that trail. It's nothing more than like a wood marker that you would get at Home Depot or Lowe's with a little painted orange on it. That's the sophistication of this. And this is what guides the team in a blizzard. But the veterinarians that are there, 4 to 5 vets cycle through each checkpoint because each dog needs to be checked every time they go through their checkpoint. All these folks come from all around the country to volunteer. They pay for their flights up, they take a week off work, and they're there. They're there to support not only the race, but they're there to support gold standard canine care. And so it's also a celebration about the volunteers. This is such a great part of our state's heritage, our culture. Again, you can tell I get a little enthusiastic about it. Even my necklace, Madam President, is a dog sled with a musher on it. So this is the time of year that I like to celebrate it. So this morning at 5:39 a.m., Alaska Standard Time, so about 11:30 here in D.C., 8 days, 14 hours, 38 minutes since beginning a roughly 1,000-mile race. Brent Sass and his team of 11 dogs crossed the finish line. So here's Brent with his 2 dogs, yellow roses flown in from, don't know where those yellow roses came from, but they certainly weren't from Nome, Alaska. But that man has traveled with his team for 8 days now, 14 hours, 38 minutes to win the 50th Iditarod. I had a chance to talk to Brent by phone just about an hour after he went into Nome. He sounded pretty vibrant, pretty excited, pretty happy. I had talked to him in the starting gate on Saturday, and I said, Brent, I think this is your time. I think this is your time because you have proved yourself year over year in the Iditarod and certainly in the Yukon Quest. Brent lives in Eureka, Alaska, on a homestead that was established back in the 70s. He's a pretty seasoned musher. He took part in his first Iditarod back in 2012. He got Rookie of the Year that year. He's a 3-time Yukon Quest champion. So the Yukon Quest runs a different race. It's from Canada into Alaska. It is also a 1,000-mile race. It is equally arduous and extraordinarily difficult. He took first place in the Yukon Quest in 2015, 2019, and 2020. So a couple little quick stories here, Madam President, because I know I don't have much time, but this guy is pretty exceptional. He's not only a strong competitor, but the care that he provides his dogs is amazing. One story from 2016, Brent was getting ready to leave the White Mountain checkpoint. It's about 77 miles from the finish line in Nome. He was teed up here to win 3rd place, and depending on where you are in the rank is how much of the purse you will take home. And if he was going to make 3rd, it was going to be at about a $44,000 prize money. But he's getting ready to leave the checkpoint, and his dogs said, nope, we're not moving. So think about it. You're that close to $44,000, you're 77 miles from the finish, and your dogs have said, this has been a long trek, and this is where we're stopping to just rest. So Brent Sass didn't push those dogs. He waited as they rested. And when they were ready, he took it slow, he took it steady, brought them to the finish line. He ended up placing 20th instead of the 3rd. And he did that for his team. And for that, he was recognized twice with the Vet's Choice Award for the care that he shows his dogs. But it's not just his team that Brent is known for taking care of. He's also known for taking care of his competitors along the trail. There was a headline a few years back that said, Sass to the rescue again. And time after time, Brent has been highlighted for acts of heroism on the trail. In vicious storms, he's helped mushers and their dog teams reunite after becoming separated on the trail. And keep in mind, there's no rescue team out there. It's you. And if you're lucky enough to have somebody else come upon you, fortunately. But during one race, a fellow musher was at risk for scratching the race, and instead of leaving him behind, as many competitors might have done, Brent helped him scale Eagle Summit so he could stay in the race. But one of the most notable rescues took place in 2011 on the trail of the Yukon Quest. Hans Gott, he was a four-time champion. He was stalled out. He wasn't able to clear the summit. The weather conditions were awful. So Hans did the only thing that he could do, which is to hunker down into a sleeping bag in these horrible winds, the driving cold snow. Brent Sled comes upon Hans, sees that he's on the verge of hypothermia. He hooks his sled to the back of his own, and he hauls both teams up over the summit. And Brent credits his then lead dog, Silver, for guiding them to safety in these awful and harsh conditions. And a result of their teamwork and heroism, the quest created the Silver Legacy Award in Silver's honor. Brent claims that to be one of the proudest moments of his life. I wish that I could have been there this morning at 5:39 in Nome to watch Brent cross the finish line as a first-time Iditarod champ with his team, but even from afar, we can hear the Alaskans celebrating Brent for his incredible feat. So to Brent Sass, we celebrate you. We thank you for the care that you show your dog team, your character, how you show what it means to be a true competitor, and for representing the great state of Alaska so well. And to all the others that are still on the trail, we wish you well and safety and Godspeed. With that, Mr. President, I yield the floor.
Mr. President.
Senator from Michigan.